Hello everyone and welcome to yet another clan war between PigPan and NoCap. Today I will be joined by Oak.
Hello everyone.
I'm as always Leonius and we will be looking at lots of TVT, TVP and more PP in PvP. And here we are for the first game of today's clan war. We have on the bottom left corner of Inside and Out it is Esarel for Team NoCap.
And in the top right hand corner we have for PigPan it is Kureiton.
So let's see. Not much to say so far. We have standard opener from both players, no proxy being made so far. So we have a few minutes to talk about our day.
Yeah, a few minutes to chat.
Yeah. How have you been and all that?
Have you ever done the game heart thing with the minimap view before? Because now we can see what these players are looking
Oh
at.
yeah. I was looking at it just a second before you said that, and I was struggling to remember if that was there all along or if it's a new update for Game Heart.
It's actually a separate mod. So you have one WCS Game Heart, and then you have another mod, WCS Game Heart with minimap view. And that's what we're hosting today. So if anyone is curious, this is what we're doing. We got a cheeky double gas opener from Kureiton.
Oh yeah, that's probably going to be spicy if I understand anything about TVP. Standard timing for the Nexus before core, surprisingly enough, from Esarel. Not as safe as you can be in a TVP, but still safe enough.
You don't suppose Esarel is sending a message here, saying, I'm just that confident I can go.
I don't care about your double gas shenanigans. Factory first before any CC, and it looks like Kureiton will be on the aggressive side for at least the first half of the game. I would say. Reaper first, no tech lab, so it's not going to be any sort of marauder push. That would be with proxy, if I recall correctly.
It looked like Esarel wanted to go for a proxy, but he got found out.
Oh my god. Very unfortunate. The Reapers are usually very mean to probes, so that was to be expected.
Yeah, I've got Stargate opener with an Adept getting chronoed.
Alright, that's interesting. Depending on the unit we have from Kureiton, we have our Hellion first. The first unit from the Stargate will be able to deny most of the damage. We will have to see whether or not the Oracle, probably an Oracle, will end up being on time. Double Reaper doesn't find too much damage so far, the Adept being very well positioned by Esarel. And the two Reapers are scared off, but we do have a follow-up for with the Hellion. Probably, yeah, he's going back in.
I mean, I want to say this is a 2-1-1, but this is we don't have a tech lab here, unless if you're going to switch the barracks and the factory. That might be what it is. Yeah, it looks what he's going to do.
Yeah.
It's going to rise up.
He's waiting for the reactor from the barracks and then switching in. He's going for a tank. Is this some sort of tank push? But with the high ground, half a wall, this Adept will be able to fend off these units, and then with the Stargate, we have a Phoenix first. I mean, Phoenix is first without any reliable. Oh, we do have a Viking though, so it could be interesting. A little bit of oversaturation on the maze suggests that maybe Kureiton wants to expand after this is done.
Yeah, this is not any build that I'm familiar with.
Yes, I would say the same. We have no shield battery on the side of Esarel, which is a little bit flimsy, but the two Reapers still managed to go in. Bounced themselves off, and then
These Phoenix are going to take care of it. It looks like it looks like a one base all in from Kureiton. He hasn't shown any interest in taking another base. Yeah, look at that. He's moving out.
He's still
gonna be a
producing
tank,
SCVs though. Is that muscle memory?
I don't know.
Or is trying to prepare for an eventual expansion?
I mean, he's built a lot of these supply depots. It doesn't look like that. And he's still continuing to spend the money. Hey, he's looking to make something happen. Yeah, this Viking.
Alright, Phoenix is finding out what's happening. Almost killing the Viking, as a matter of fact. Turns out that 3 Phoenixes are more than a match for a single Viking.
Yeah, this is going to be a one base all in.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
It's still a very,
here we go.
very good defensive position, but...
Tank, couple of Vikings, Marines.
Oh, tanks are shelling out, dealing so much damage. The Viking landing because he knows he cannot win the air battle, but he'll be much more useful on the ground. And the Phoenixes cannot do anything. They should be lifting the tanks, but there are Marines protecting those, and the rest of the army of Kureiton is simply destroying everything they can, empowering their robo. Oh my, oh my.
This is not a good position for Esarel. I mean, yes, he gets the lifting off of the tank, and that's very useful. But
doesn't even kill the tank. We have a Cyclone. Oh my. Anyhow, we have on the bottom right corner of Moondance, it is the Terran in purple playing for NoCap. It is Lira. Probably?
And on the other corner, we have, for Team PigPan, Nefas.
Now, I always respect people when they choose different colors. Like, not like you can select the same color, but some degree of difference between the two colors that the players choose in a mirror match. Because usually I see players going for teal versus blue in a ZVZ, and that's always very fun, especially to cast.
Teal versus blue. You see that in like the WCS or in some of these other major tournaments, they do like blue versus yellow. I know blue versus red has always been the standard, but I'm seeing a lot of blue versus yellow, yellow versus purple.
Because I'm pretty sure that in the first few editions of not like the first few in recent times they used to have team colors on, and if you're a spectator, team colors means one is red and one is blue, and that's the standard. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that recently they allowed players to choose their own colors, unless they choose something stupid like, again, teal versus blue or purple versus dark blue. That's always very fun. That's a cheeky SCV. Trying to go for a second scout. We have sort of the same opener, slightly faster depot for Nefas, while we have a faster factory for Lira. I'm gonna mess up the name, so I'm going back to the English pronunciation.
Very good. All right.
Reaper going out in the map. The first Reaper's carrying off the SCV of Lira instead, and
well, you win some, you lose some. First blood has been drawn.
I mean, that also forces Nefas to stay at home with the Reaper, because if he goes away now before the second one comes, he doesn't have too much to defend at home. At the same time, we could have Lira trying to scout the natural, but we have no sort of scouting so far. Triple Reaper into Hellion for Nefas. At the same time, we have sort of the same thing, but with just 2 Reapers and a reactor from Lira.
Yeah, it looks like Lira's going for the natural on location, whereas Nefas a little bit more cautious approach, delaying his starport to get the faster CC, but on the high ground. So I suppose the CC timing kind of washes out a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, you may want to swap the location of the players. I believe it's Control-Shift-X.
Oh, thank you very much.
Way Nefas is rightly in the top corner. We're not saying this as anyone's better. We're just saying this geographically speaking.
Yeah, not because we have a tendency to like PigPan players the most. Anyhow, the first blood of a combat unit goes to Lira, killing one of the Hellions that were a little bit disjointed from the rest of the Reapers. Lira, even though he has the lowest army count, manages to take a good fight retreats it most of the army intact.
You know, we got a little. I'm not sure if this is are Widow Mines standard in CVT. I don't think so.
They're
But
not usually.
A bit of a ooh.
You can drop them though.
Here.
They're not as devastating as against Protoss, but they still deal a lot of damage. And if the Hellion manages to splash the same as CVs, they will all die. It will be a bloodbath. At the same time, though, we have 3 Reapers from Nefas going across the map, stopping halfway through.
The middle.
Chilling a little bit on the middle. Oh, that's a good Viking. Sees the Viking.
Sees this. I'm gonna go around.
Retreats.
I'm not sure what they're gonna be able to do with just this single mine. Like it's gonna take out one SCV for sure, but the splash is 40 damage. SCVs are tanky boys.
I think that's what the Hellion is for.
That could be. No, we're just gonna come right on back.
All right. Oh, that's a very, very disjointed army. Loses a marine for free, and
yeah,
Lira has a good defensive position here with the Widow Mine and all. Also, this troop will not deal anything to these many marines, but
I almost feel like when you saw the Viking and saw that it was on patrol, it's probably time to do a quick rotation. Like you probably go to the natural.
Oh, do not attack though, Nefas. That's how you lose some army for free. They're a little bit undecisive here.
Learn by face checking every so often. You know. Oh, this is.
I
understand the drop. Maybe we could have done it on one of these safer depots instead of this depot.
That's to show dominance, you know. That's how you show that you don't fear anything. You drop a hat on the supply depots on the outside.
Yeah, well, Reaper will pay for the information with its life.
For the glory of the Dominion.
2 Reapers guarding the front of Lyra's base, seeing if there are any move outs and everything, whereas Nefas is just macroing up fairly comfortably at home.
Alright, this could be a very scary push though, because we do have a Raven, 2 tanks, lots of marines, a Widow Mine for good measure. And on the other side we just have 2 tanks, one of which will be disabled, and the other one is very far back. A bunker with 4 marines inside, and a lot of people rallied on the main base.
Yeah, this looks like a little bit of a disjointed army composition. We'll need to get into position.
I think Nefas is still too defensive against drops, and it's not thinking about a frontal push, which is going to happen very soon. I think if
he knows about this because he got his Reapers taken out at the doorway. He also got scanned as well. These are clues.
And he still thinks that that's going to be a drop. And this is a very terrible spot for the natural of Nefas. It's not a game-winning position for Lira for sure. But
I think the seat back was a little bit too far back. Like this is giving. Actually, the bunker is not even in range. No, the range. Yeah, it's in range.
They are in range, but outside of vision. So you need to move the Raven a little bit forwards, maybe just a tiny bit. That's it. Try and defend the Raven with your life. Loses the Viking. Nefas is, and repairing the bunker. So nothing too important has happened so far. Nefas is being contained on 2 bases and a half if he wants to expand. Scans to check how many people we have on our doorstep, and the problem is there's lots of people for Lira, but it's very hard to push into a fortified position of Terran, even with Terran. Salvaging the bunker just to refund some minerals. At the same time though,
I think the problem with this push is Lira has sieged up so far back that needs the vision in order to start making a push. Right now, Nefas might be feeling a lot of pressure. I'm sure he is, but he's not really in any danger.
But the problem for Nefas at the moment is that Lira is expanded to the in-base location and is gonna have much more income as soon as that goes online.
True.
You can see that the SCVs on the natural of Nefas are very oversaturated.
You know, I think Panic has just set in. Nefas, forgetting about this orbital command already in his base, could have lifted it to the pocket third, but instead is building a new third on location.
Oh, me oh my.
Actually, no, I don't know. You know, there might be another mod for the colors for who scans and who doesn't. Right now, we can just see that someone's scanned. I think we're just going to have to make our best guess, but...
I think you can see the color of the scan itself.
No, well, I can't.
I should check, but I'm pretty sure it was purple-ish, the one that Lira made.
Yeah, well, both players just kind of scanning themselves. We got Nefas going for a cheeky Liberator, going to be going out and sieging into the main. You can tell by the vision over there. He queued it up. So that should be interesting.
All right.
Also going for a drop. You know, I like this play. If you got a big army sitting right outside your doorstep, can't really move into you, you got to go ahead and try to make some plays. So he's just sneaking out a couple of units, not too much. All right, he's still got a big defensive position. I wish he'd siege up this tank over here. We really need to do something about this. We're coming into the main base of Lira. Let's see if they notice.
No noticing so far.
Speed.
And pew pew we go, liberation. Get some freedom, you silly SCVs. No pullback so far, nothing on the front, and just 2 Marines. This Liberator did a lot of damage, could be micro to deal even more damage. Actually, the Marines are F2'd away.
Yeah, no. Big F2. I mean, in part, you love to see it.
I love this
drop coming in. It's going to look like it's going to drop into the pocket base. Yes, indeed. And as long as it takes these offensive little trades on the other side of the map and stays defensive, I think he's going to be in a fairly good spot.
Very good usage of
pocket base,
Liberator as well. Yeah, on the pocket. I mean, I love the usage of Liberators from Nefas, using them both to try and dismantle the defensive push of Lira, and at the same time dealing critical damage to the infrastructure of Lira itself. Finally kills the lib, but we have 8 Marines inside the natural. They killed most of the SCVs, and now they're going to rotate into the natural. 2 Marines are not going to save you from this mayhem. At the same time, though, a big push, but the tanks were not disabled in time, and everything crumbles for Lira as it takes one of the worst engagement possible.
Probably. Nefas is now feeling pretty confident now. Now he's going to be moving out. Oh, you don't want to be face teching those tanks. This is not what you want. But unfortunately, there's too much Terran for the Terran. This is one of those meme things, right? You know, I got more Terran for your Terran, so I can Terran you while I Terran you.
A single Marine trying to kill an assimilator, but I think the rest of the army is very close behind him, and soon Lira will notice that 24 army supply does not beat 114, even though you have +1/+1 against +0/0.
We've got 25 army supply in a dream. But I think this was really well played by Nefas, right? You know, you caused a lot of damage on the other side of the map, forced Lira to get really uncomfortable, feel like they were in an all-in position. They went ahead. They felt like they had to push. They took a rather unfortunate engagement, to say the very least. And this left Nefas with a big army advantage, which is now capitalized.
That's a move command, though. Could have
one heck of a move command, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you really need to micro your army if you're that far ahead, but GG anyway.